May I ask her to rise, take a bow, please? Very much. My friend, Mayor Nefzigen, Mr. Mayor, distinguished state officers, distinguished co-chairman, county chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I want to express my appreciation on behalf of my wife and myself to all of you for taking time from many other things that you could be doing on Saturday night to be with us. Coming into the city from the harbor, I saw that a football game is going on. I know there is TV, and I hope that this is not a long-range trend where politics is going to take the place of things more important. In any case, I want to express appreciation to you for being willing to take time off tonight to be with us both. I also want to say that while we have been traveling for the past 3 days in Wisconsin and have been given several pounds of tobacco and have been given a hodag, which is a statue of an unusual and endemic monster from the area of Rhinelander, I must say that what I'd like to most take home were the two young ladies who gave us the flowers. I must say that they are the best product of Wisconsin. I also want to congratulate you for singing the Star-Spangled Banner. I was somewhat surprised, but not completely astonished, to read in the New York Times during the luncheon given to Mr. Khrushchev that in the patriotic ardor that seized the New Yorkers, they all sang the Star-Spangled Banner. And the New York Times reported that experienced reporters looked at each other in astonishment, as that was the first time they'd ever heard a New York banquet luncheon ever sing the Star-Spangled Banner or indicate that they knew the words. Well, I think it should not be visits of Mr. Khrushchev should not remind us of our opportunity to participate in a historic function in singing the song. And I'm glad and I hope that the arrival of the citizens from Massachusetts has not caused a patriotic outburst here in Superior. I have always thought it an interesting commentary on history that Democratic dinners link together the two founding fathers of our party, Andrew Jackson and Thomas Jefferson. The fact that they link these two gentlemen together, that their names are behind the speakers at every Democratic dinner across the country, I think gives us some idea of the broad spectrum of opinion which is permitted to develop and flourish within the Democratic Party. For we ought to realize that neither of these two Democrats were wholly beloved by all of their confreres in their own day. For example, a prominent Democrat was quoted in 1824 as saying, "I feel much alarmed at the prospect of seeing General Jackson president. He is one of the most unfit men I know of for such a place. He has very little respect for the law. His passions are terrible, and he is a dangerous man." This was the statement, of course, of Thomas Jefferson. And who do you suppose it was when Mr. Jefferson was president who described him as too cowardly to resent foreign outrage on the Republic, a man willing to seize peaceable Americans and prosecute them for political purposes, a man who seems to hold himself above the law? This statement, of course, was made by General Andrew Jackson. I think that opinion that they had of each other, which may have been justified in both cases, does indicate that the Democratic Party does not consider itself united by blood or common experience, but considers itself made up of individuals who may not think alike on all questions, who may not hold all members of the party in equal regard, but who do believe that within the broad channel of the Democratic Party, political action can be performed that will serve the country most vigorously. And therefore I appreciate the chance to come here to Wisconsin, which has a great tradition of political activity, and which has given this country, beginning with the whole stretch of political action since 1900, has been in the forefront of many significant and important pieces of legislation. In the days of La Follette as governor, in the days of the 20s, for example, when the actions here in Wisconsin were in the forefront and the stimulus for the passage of the Social Security Act in the 1930s by the National Administration, in the kind of leadership which Bill Proxmire is giving in the United States Senate today and that your governor is giving on the state level. I think that these young men are the kind of men who I think have brought about a tremendous revival in the Democratic Party since 1952. The fact of the matter is that since 1956, with the exception of New York, Illinois, and New Hampshire, a Democratic governor, a Democratic senator, or a congressman running at large in the Democratic Party have all been elected in 47 out of the 50 states. It indicates that the American people still have confidence in the Democratic Party. I look to the future, therefore, with hope. But I think it's obviously also true that while we've been able to elect congressmen and senators and governors and mayors and assemblymen, we have not yet been able to elect a president since 1948, and we have not been the majority party in the Electoral College since 1944. So we still have a big job to do, because the President of the United States, as Harry Truman used to say, wears 5 hats, and all of them are especially important today. He is the center of function in the American government. It was planned that way by the Constitution, and every great president of the United States thought the same way as Theodore Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson, that a president should take all the power that he needs that is not specifically prohibited by the Constitution. And I think that that's especially true today, and I think, therefore, that those of us who are members of the Democratic Party have the right to state that we believe that the country is not being governed as vigorously and progressively as it must be if the United States is going to maintain its position as leader of the free world. And one example of that limitation, that feeling that the American economy must always be sat on, that feeling that we do not have to stimulate growth, but rather we have to worry about excess, it seems to me is demonstrated in the handling of this administration, the handling by this administration of the steel strike. I think it would be a mistake for the President of the United States to attempt to arbitrate that strike. I believe in free collective bargaining. Free collective bargaining can bring strikes. Those strikes can be extremely difficult and onerous for many of us to bear. But the fact of the matter is that they are preferable to compulsory arbitration. But nevertheless, the President of the United States has many arrows in his bow. And the fact of the matter is that since January and February, beginning with a statement of the chairman of the Board of Economic Advisors, Dr. Saulnier, who talked about the dangers of wage inflation, the actions that the President has taken in his public statements, the fact that he permitted the companies in their public statements, in their advertisements as recently as 2 days ago, to say that they are on the side of the President in holding the line against inflation, when they were able to amass the greatest profits in their history in the first 6 months of 1959, indicates, in my opinion, that the whole influence of the administration has been thrown on the side of the companies. And I can say with some certainty of what is going to be our fate during the next 3 months. The companies made record profits during the first 6 months. The strike has now been going on for 3 months, 12 weeks. The companies during that period of time have been getting rid of their surpluses. They're now getting down to bone. Within the next few days, we can expect that the President of the United States will invoke the 80-day injunction period of the Taft-Hartley Act, which will mean that the strike will be broken, which will mean that the workers must then go back with the pay that they were receiving before the strike began. And then the companies will then work on a 12 and a 24-hour basis, building up again their stockpile. They will end, therefore, at the end of the 80 days, which will bring us around Christmas, they will end this year with the greatest profits in the history of the United States. This will be their best year. And the workers, the members of the steel union, will then be faced with a decision a few days before Christmas of whether they should renew the strike. They will be, of course, have spent all of their savings. They will recognize the difficulty of striking during the winter. They will recognize that the public interest will be in the direction of helping them maintain their work, and therefore it will put them in a most difficult position. Now, I do not believe that it is possible again, as I've said at the beginning, for the President of the United States to call anyone in and say, settle. But I do believe that there are many things that can be done. He could use the strong influence which this administration has with the business groups in this country to see if influence could be brought to bear upon the companies to make a reasonable offer. He could offer that he could set up a fact-finding committee which would come in not only with a report of the position of both sides, which has never been clearly outlined, the last bargaining position of both the union and the company, but he also could set up a fact-finding group which could make recommendations, which would not have the power of compulsion, but I think would have the power of persuasion. As I have said, the power of the presidency is tremendous, and I cannot believe that the series of steps which have been set before us, one after the other, beginning in June, which are going to bring the results that I have predicted, I cannot believe that this is all that the chief executive of the greatest country on earth could have done about a strike which is going to cost us more in man-hours missed than any strike in the history of the United States. Now, this is only one particular area of action, but I think spreading it across the whole spectrum of political action, in aid to education, in attempting to lift...
There are those who say this country is in the autumn of its time, that we have lost our pride and quality no longer as a way of life. Whirlpool disagrees. As a maker of home appliances, we believe that pride and quality are so much a part of this country's heritage. We must be true to them in everything we make. That this is not the onset of winter, but the advent of spring. A new beginning, where quality will once again become a way of life.
Maxwell House is bringing folks together. Maxwell House, good to the last drop. Maxwell House is
good morning.
Maxwell House is
a good day.
Good to the last drop. Maxwell House.
ABC brand. Coffee you can count on to bring people together. Always good to the last drop.
Maxwell House is
A good friend.
good to the last drop. Maxwell House.
Philly, like to stay and have dinner with us?
What are you having?
Chicken?
Just chicken?
Chicken with potatoes? Or stovetop stuffing?
Stuffing? I'm staying.
Stovetop stuffing and chicken. It's one meal really worth staying for, cause stovetop stuffing instead of potatoes tastes terrific.
You know, I'm free for dinner tomorrow night too, Mrs. Freeland.
You don't say.
Stovetop stuffing instead of potatoes. Ask your family.
Trying to do my everyday things. If I have a day where it's been, back and forth 3 times to school, plus twice to Brownies, I would get a headache. He couldn't afford to pay somebody to do what I do.
Eileen Sullivan needs strong headache relief, but is bothered by aspirin stomach upset. Recommendation Bufferin, strength for tension headaches. Yet it adds so much stomach upset protection. Many can take it instead of Tylenol.
I take 2 Bufferin. I can rely upon it working.
Bufferin, it's strong on headaches, easy on the stomach.
Bet you think these pain relievers you're like, Mrs. Talbot.
Sure do.
Let's see. 2 regular tablets, 650 milligrams. These other pain relievers also, 650 milligrams. 650 milligrams. Still think they're all the same?
Yep.
Look here. 800 milligrams.
Anacin. I didn't know Anacin had more pain reliever.
Yes, more pain reliever and a special combination of medical ingredients. That's the Anacin difference. So now which pain reliever?
Anacin.
Get the Anacin difference.
Anything else, Bill?
Got something for hemorrhoid symptoms, Mr. Baxter? Pain, itching?
Sure. Try this.
Preparation H?
Yep. In many cases, Preparation H gives prompt temporary relief of occasional pain and itching of hemorrhoidal tissues.
Great.
Preparation H actually helps shrink swelling of hemorrhoidal tissues caused by inflammation.
I'll try it.
Back in form, Bill?
Thanks to you and Preparation H.
Doctor-tested Preparation H helps shrink swelling of hemorrhoidal tissues.
This bar of solid gold is worth about $160,000, but it would take a wall of real gold bars this big, $600 million, to match what Ford put into pickups and Broncos, the first new trucks of the 80s. Pickups aerodynamically designed to achieve the best gas mileage rating of any American-built standard pickup. More payload than last year based on comparable truck weights. Top Fords, the best-selling trucks of the 70s, out front again for the 80s.
New on NBC, they're odder than the Odd Couple, sunnier than Sonny and Cher. It's me and Key.
It's Kay.
And Jeff. They're Japan's hottest superstars, Pink Lady, in their American TV debut. He's hit comic Jeff Altman. Pink Lady, a new series starting Saturday.
You bet.
Right after BJ.
7, we're proud.
So you like these, Mama?
Si.
They're not from Mexico.
No.
But they have an authentic tortilla taste.
See?
Tostitos brand, crispy round tortilla chips.
No.
Yes, in traditional flavor or nacho cheese. They are so thin and crispy they even sound delicious.
See?
So now you know why my favorite Mexican snack doesn't come from Mexico.
See?
Tostitos brand, an authentic tortilla taste from Frito-Lay.
Inside Firestone's newest 721 radial are 2 belts of steel cord. In each cord, 10 strands of high-strength steel. 7 strands around 2, wrapped by 1. 721. Because it's a metric radial, it can use more air, so you use less gas. We call it the Fuel Fighter, designed to save you more gas than any steel-belted radial tire Firestone has ever built. Firestone's newest 721, the Fuel Fighter.
I don't care what everybody's using. You're using a fluoride paste to fight cavities.
But, Mom, I need this gel for fresh breath.
Pardon me. My family uses double protection Aquafresh.
Aquafresh gives you all the cavity-fighting fluoride of the leading paste and all the breath freshener of the leading gel. Concentrated in one toothpaste.
Fluoride for fighting cavities.
And gel for fresh breath.
Thanks. We'll get Aquafresh, too.
Double protection Aquafresh fights cavities and freshens breath.
Some politician. That speech lost votes. You wrote it? You coughed all through it.
Been taking cough drops for miles.
Take hold.
Hold?
Better than cough drops. Check the label.
Has dextromethorphan.
Real cough medicine. 2 hold work up to 4 hours.
And never raise taxes. Hardly coughed in 4 hours.
Hold gets my vote.
Hold and Children's Hold.
Better than leading cough drops.
Wednesday, it's the exclusive unveiling of the Unknown comic, plus a beer-drinking dog, belly dancing lessons, a hotel for your love fantasies, and the return of the potty-trained cat on Real People. Then Drummond's stuck on Arnold's teacher, and Arnold goes from teacher's pet to class pest. And when the music teacher dies in the Alder home, Ruthie takes it personally.
Dad, I killed him!
It all starts at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Let's move it. Larkspur is a long way. Saturday morning games can be pretty rough. We have to move out fast. So, they can't always take time for an ordinary breakfast, but they have a good one. Carnation Instant Breakfast. Chocolate's their favorite. Just add milk, and Carnation Instant Breakfast gives them all the nutrition of this bacon and egg meal for a fast start. So if you're in a hurry, don't worry. With Carnation Instant Breakfast, you always have time for a good breakfast.
How many cold tablets do you take a day? 2?
More.
4?
More.
6?
Yes, 6.
A day? And then more at night? Why?
They're new?
Ever try Contact?
No.
Watch. One Contact helps relieve your congestion for up to 12 hours without the aspirin substitute and cough suppressant in these. Just one more Contact helps you all night while you sleep.
You're the guys on TV.
Give your cold to Contact.
At tax time, Elmer used to go places where he was in and out so fast, he wasn't sure he'd gotten all his deductions.
Now I've switched to Beneficial Income Tax Service. They're in your corner, working for every deduction you're entitled to.
Got plans for your refund?
Ask about Beneficial's instant tax refund loan.
Beneficial wants to lend you the full amount of your expected refund or more today. It's a regular loan, usual qualification not related to your tax refund.
So switch to Beneficial. They're in your corner.
Good evening. These are some of the stories in tonight's news. Carter and Reagan are the declared winners in the New Hampshire primaries. The Crystal River nuclear power plant has been shut down because of a problem. There is a major fire at this hour at the Bond Plumbing Company in Fort Lauderdale, and more plans are unveiled for a new stadium complex in Broward County. Details of these and other stories tonight at 11 on News Center 7.
Words come together in an offer you can't refuse. Karastan and Sale. Selected Karastan Oriental designs and area rugs and best-selling carpets are going on sale. The deep beauty, the color, the look, the prestige of Karastan are yours for the prettiest prices. Up to 25% off.
Enjoy the savings in Burdine's semi-annual Karastan sale.
If it's been a while since you've eaten crab legs, let Red Lobster remind you how. Right in the middle. That's right. It pays to dig deep. Oh. Dip that sweet, delicate meat into rich melted butter. Ah, there you go. Now, if you'd like more practice, we know where you can get plenty. Red Lobster's serving them tonight. Lots of them.
Red Lobster for the seafood lover in you.
7, we're proud.
How's your wrist today, Mom?
A little better, Jason.
Mom, is Kellogg's Cornflakes still your favorite cereal?
Uh-huh.
How come?
Well, they taste good. They're crispy. And Kellogg's makes them. Oh, Jason.
Have a nice day, Mom.
Jason, it's gonna be a great day.
Kellogg's will help you say it's gonna be a great day.
Fix Formula 44D, please.
Helen, with this nasty cough plus congestion, I need...
Formula 44D.
But Helen, I need a decongestant, not just strong cough medicine.
You need Formula 44D. It's strong like Formula 44. Has the strongest non-narcotic cough suppressant you can buy. Plus ingredients to help unstuff your nose and loosen up for chest congestion.
That's what I said. Formula 44D. Strong for coughs plus congestion.
How'd you like to get up to $500 from the cat? Lincoln Mercury announces cash back from the cat. Buy one of our high-mileage Zephyrs, Z7s or Zephyr wagons, and you get $300 direct to you. Buy the exciting new Cougar XR7, and you get $500. But act now. It's a limited time offer. Come, share our pride in these high-mileage Mercuries and get cash back from Lincoln Mercury.
MasterCharge is becoming MasterCard.
MasterCharge가 마스터카드니変わります.
Because you need more than just a charge card nowadays, we're becoming more. MasterCharge is becoming MasterCard. Until your new card arrives, use your current card.
MasterCharge devient MasterCard.
MasterCard is replacing MasterCharge.
For the good life in more than 140 countries, we circle the world. MasterCard.
From Here to Eternity, an all-new series, the story that's never been told. Pearl Harbor was only the beginning. William Devane, in love with the Army, in bed with the Major's wife. And Eternity's bad girls, Kim Basinger in the business of giving pleasure. Barbara Hershey, the part-time wife. Lacey Newhouse, rich, spoiled, and hungry. Starting Monday, March 10th on NBC.
It's going to take a real cheese to top this. A slice of Kraft Natural cheese, hearty and fresh, each cut at the peak of flavor. All the great taste cheese could ever have in every delicious slice. Kraft Natural Slices, the hearty way America spells cheese. K-R-A-F-T.
The sun is shining brighter every day. Thumbs up, whatever it takes, the sun will lead the way. Thumbs up, the sun is up. Thumbs up, day and night. Thumbs up, doing all we can to help things turn out right. Thumbs up, the sun is up. There's so much we can do. Thumbs up, the sun is up for you.
Program to bring you the following special report from NBC News. Here is...
Good evening. Now we have some returns from the Minnesota caucuses. Our projected winner in the Democratic caucuses in Minnesota is President Carter. He is far ahead. Senator Kennedy is so far behind as to be almost invisible. In the Republican straw vote, Reagan and Bush are running almost neck and neck, and at the moment we cannot call the winner. To bring you up to date from New Hampshire, from the returns in New Hampshire, beginning with the Republicans, Reagan, our projected winner, beating Bush by almost 2.5 to 1. And among the Democrats in New Hampshire, President Carter, our projected winner, 50% of the vote to Kennedy's 37, Brown's 10. We'll have details on all of these in a special program at 11:30, 10:30 Central tonight.
This has been a special report from NBC News. We now join our regularly scheduled programming in progress.
Here, pal, try these. New cheddar triangle snack crackers.
¿Cuántos has tú?
Different. It's a whole new dimension in snack crackers.
Yo, Lingna Zingo.
Yes, sirree. There's pure cheddar cheese in these cheddar triangles and a secret grated topping for extra crunch. It's a whole new dimension in snack crackers. Cheddar triangles. New from Nabisco.
Uh-oh, just one kitchen bag left. So we can't stuff this mess from your baby shower into one bag.
Yes, we can. This new kitchen bag is 2-ply. New Hefty? It's tough enough to overstuff.
Hefty introduces the only tall kitchen bag made with 2 tough plies to hold more than most ordinary kitchen bags.
You can overstuff them.
And use fewer bags and save money.
That's heavy.
That's Hefty.
New 2-ply Hefty.
Tough enough to overstuff.
Now for an extra special winter event, the Owens Corning Fiberglass Save Price Insulation Sale. Number 1, save on pink Owens Corning Fiberglass Insulation now. It's on sale. Number 2, save on fuel bills from now on. Look for this banner at your participating dealer and buy Owens Corning Fiberglass Insulation on sale today.
Nowadays, we Americans all want good mileage and good value, and Ford's doing something about it during their fuel economy celebration. Mr. Ryan here got a check from Ford for $500 when he bought this new 1980 Thunderbird. Me, I traded my old gas guzzler and got this high-mileage new Fairmont, and used the $300 from Ford toward the down payment. I didn't want it to get lost in the mail.
There's money where the mileage is.
Thanks, Ford.
And there's mileage news at Ford.
New on NBC, big-time comedy variety is back. Who's you talking about? The Big Show, the best in weeknight entertainment with the biggest names in the business.
I'm your hospitality hostess, Twinkie.
Say what? It's stars, spectacle, and most of all, comedy.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you?
Good heavens, my foot's dropped off.
Now you can go out every Tuesday night by staying home. They don't call it The Big Show for nothing. Premieres this Tuesday at 9, 8 Central in Malden.